For 8 years of marriage, Armin and Zara had grown so comfortable with each other that comfort slowly became carelessness, and carelessness became cruelty. It began with tiny jokes, Zara teasing Armin's slow eating, his messy handwriting, his forgetfulness. But as time passed, those harmless remarks evolved into sharper, more humiliating stabs. Whenever Armin's friends came over, Zara would smile sweetly and then cut him down with jokes about his salary, his low ambition, or how she carried the whole marriage. Even in private, when no one else could hear, she mimicked his voice, mocked his dreams, and treated his feelings like toys she could twist and toss aside. Armin absorbed everything quietly, always believing she didn't mean harm, that marriage required patience, and that love meant letting go of small wounds. But small wounds can turn into deep scars. One night, during a dinner Zara arranged for her colleagues, she joked loudly that Armin was too soft to ever be taken seriously, and the table burst into laughter while he sat frozen, his smile shrinking like a dying flame. That night, after everyone left and Zara slept peacefully beside him, Armin stared at the ceiling and felt something snap, not in rage, but in clarity. He realized he had allowed her disrespect to grow because he loved her too deeply, and that love had blinded him long enough. So he quietly decided that if Zara enjoyed mocking him publicly, then he would let the truth speak publicly too, but not with anger, not with shouting, not with insults. His revenge would be calm, clean, ruthless, and unforgettable. Over the next weeks, Armin became unusually silent. Zara mocked him less, confused by his sudden emotional distance. He observed her carefully, noting every moment she dismissed him, every time she smirked at his hurt, every time she whispered sharp jabs under her breath. And he planned, for the perfect night, the perfect audience, and the perfect truth. A month later, Zara organized a grand dinner to celebrate her promotion. She invited friends, colleagues, even Armin's close circle. She dressed elegantly, hair curled, confidence radiating. Armin remained calm, wearing a quiet expression that no one could read. The dining room was warm with laughter and clinking glasses. Then, as always, Zara found her favorite stage, mocking him. She stood, holding a glass of wine, and said with a giggle, "You know, Armin is so sweet, but sometimes I feel like I married a cute little boy instead of a man." People chuckled awkwardly. Armin simply raised his eyes and watched her. "And," she continued, "he gets hurt so easily. I have to be careful not to break his delicate heart." She laughed. This time, no one else did. Armin stood slowly, drawing every gaze. Zara smirked, expecting him to blush or sit down. Instead, he walked to the center of the room, pulled out a small remote, and pointed it at the TV. The screen lit up. Zara's smile faltered. "Since we're sharing," Armin said softly, "let me share too." A video began to play, showing Zara in the kitchen 2 weeks earlier. She stood with her friend Sanaa, mocking Armin's dreams in cruel detail, his plans for a business, his efforts to grow, even his love for her. "He's so easy to manipulate," video Zara had said, laughing. "I don't even take him seriously anymore." Zara's face drained of color. Guests turned to her, shocked. Armin continued, "Here is the woman I married. The woman who mocks my feelings when she thinks no one can hear. And here is the truth I have lived with quietly." Another clip, Zara ridiculing his family. Another, mocking his clothes. Another, laughing about how obedient he was. The room fell silent. Zara gasped, stepping forward. "Armin, stop. You're embarrassing me." He looked at her with a calmness that terrified her. "I'm not embarrassing you, Zara. I'm revealing you." She reached for the remote, but he moved it away gently. "You enjoyed humiliating me publicly. I thought you deserved to meet your own reflection." "I didn't mean, Armin, please." Her voice cracked. Tears welled. But Armin wasn't angry. That made it worse. He turned to the guests. "For years, I laughed along, convincing myself it was harmless. But marriage is supposed to be respect. And this, he gestured to the screen, is not respect. Zara fell to her knees, her voice trembling. I was joking. I never thought you'd take it so seriously. I love you, Armin. He looked at her with the saddest smile she had ever seen. Love doesn't mock, and real jokes don't break people. He stepped back, took off his wedding ring, and placed it gently on the table. The room exhaled sharply. Zara, he said softly, you didn't break my heart with your jokes. You broke it with your carelessness. Then he turned, walking toward the door. Zara scrambled after him, grabbing his hand. Please don't leave me. Don't do this. I'll change, I swear. He gently pulled his hand away. You had years. And with a calm, heartbreaking finality, Armin walked out of the house, leaving behind a room full of stunned guests and a woman collapsing into her own echoes of cruelty. Zara looked at the empty doorway, realizing too late that the man she mocked for being soft had just delivered the coldest, cleanest revenge she never saw coming. And this time, no one laughed.